Good morning, everyone. We are this year's first edition of Knott's Notes, so I'm going to jump right into this to try to keep it as efficient as possible. First things first, happy Thursday. I know it's a little later in the week that I'm usually sending this. It's been a busy week. I will try to get back early into the week next week and moving forward. Want to shout out to all of you guys. Great start to the school year. I know we've had some hiccups, master schedule, always full classes at the beginning of the year. I think that's starting to level itself out. We still have a couple hotspots we may have to deal with, but for the most part, that's getting leveled out. Had some issues with ACs. I appreciate you guys' patience in dealing with that. I still think we have a couple that might be down where we're waiting for parts, but you guys have been super flexible and really resilient. So I appreciate you guys' efforts with that. We're going to get into some process reminders, a couple words about walkthroughs and cleanup as we go today. So first things first, process reminders for collaborative team protocols. Please make sure that we're staying up on top of that when we're out there. Um, the meeting schedules have been set for us. Please follow them. I know we had a couple people yesterday that conducted department meetings as opposed to collaborative team meetings. That's off schedule, so please make sure you stay on schedule. Your meeting location should also be consistent. We are meeting in the department chairs rooms or one other room. If you guys want to establish a different teacher's room to meet in, that's fine as well. But everybody should be in the same space, even though we're breaking into collaborative teams. There's a reason for that. We want to have access to all team members because most of you on this campus are teaching multiple preps and you have multiple team members that you could be a part of. So meeting in the same space makes everyone accessible if necessary. And then make sure you're following the agenda process. I know Ms. Smith sent out an email last night, I believe, that kind of outlined the expectations for agendas again in case somebody had missed them. But you are expected to use the agendas. They're all on the hub, and the instructions are fairly simple to follow. If you have questions, please follow up with her. Minga use has also been a thing that has been going very well. Thank you for that. We'll talk about some of this a little bit later as we get into this slideshow, but we'll get into Minga use. But you guys have been doing a great job. Thank you for that. Stay consistent with it, as well as the cell phone policy. The cell phone policy and the referral process. Just stay consistent with it, and the more we do it, we'll make tweaks and adjustments as you guys ask for them, as long as they make sense with what we're trying to do. And things are just going to keep getting better and better as the year goes on. So thank you guys for the collective effort that you've been making on that. Our walkthroughs are ramping up this week. We started data collection. You guys may have seen us out in calibration earlier in the week, where multiple of us came into classrooms. We'll be back on the normal with one of us. There may be a couple of times here and there where we come in as a pair just as we continue to try to calibrate. Since we have new administrators on our campus, obviously we want to make sure we're all on the same page so our data is clean. But we will be coming in. Just make sure you carry on as usual when you come in. Don't worry about us. We'll try to stay out of your way and try to be as least amount of disruption as possible in the classroom. I know that's difficult sometimes, but we'll do our best to try to do that. And also, if we leave you some feedback with a question of some sort that we have, please answer. We're doing that because the dialogue that we have with each other is important, as far as reflection is concerned, and it will allow us to continue to get better and come to a more common understanding. So thank you for that in advance. As I was mentioning earlier, you guys are doing a great job on the Minga policy. I'm not going to beat this over the head too much, but also one thing I wanted to note was don't forget about positive reinforcement with the kids. They do love that part of Minga as well. I know we don't talk about it that much, but you do have the ability to give positive reinforcement with Minga as well, so don't forget about that. And then I believe Ms. Catanesi sent out an update this morning about some of the possibilities of changes within Minga to account for the earbud situation, and then a couple other updates about the referral process. So make sure you read her email through, and if you have any questions, reach out to her. Last thing before I let you guys go is we have had some issues on campus this year with pests. I'm sure you guys may or may not have heard, but there's been a few areas on campus where we've had some little furry friends running around in the classroom. That is not a problem that we obviously want to spread around campus. So I would say help yourselves, please, and help the custodial crew by making sure that your kids are cleaning up after themselves. Make sure everything's in the garbage can. Try to declutter your space as much as possible so we can make sure we can stay as clean as possible. And then we do have pest control coming, trying to get a hold of the situation as well. So all of those factors work together to try to keep things under control. So just try to help everybody out, please, so we don't have a problem that grows more. I know the heat didn't help. I'm sure that's what's making the problem worse than it was. So just keep that in mind as you go about your day. Week's almost over, Thursday. So finish the week strong. Have a great weekend going into it. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.